What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video today from Sigma Trades. Wife complains about husband going grocery shopping. Let's go.
Was the world better, but it was harder to see boobs? Women are perverts now. In fact, what's even more ironic is that as we point the finger and pretend that men are the perverts, Me Too error, it is so clearly evident everywhere that you look in society that it's actually us. We have become the sexual aggressors. Take this one example. This is a social media influencer. She was butt naked and decided to paint blue onto herself and go to the gym to see how men would react. Take a listen.
If you don't have clothes on, you need to be out of here, man. You have clothes on. How's your body? Not your body. I work in the industry enough.
Because she's a woman, somehow she thought this would be funny. What should have happened is that she should have been arrested for indecent exposure. But again, that didn't happen because men are supposed to just take it. What an absolute creep this woman is.
How refreshing to hear a woman calling another woman out. Shamelessness is common now in society. If a man did that, he'd end up on the offender registry. Women need to be held accountable for their vulgar behavior.
Would you rather?
You know, I just said it too in a previous video this week that I think kind of like what Candace Owens was talking about, that women are the new perverts. They've taken this freedom that they have, right? This sexual freedom that they have, and they've completely distorted it and turned it into something completely crazy, right? And so I think I saw that video before about the woman in body pain going to the gym. Like, how is that okay? Right? Now, certainly that woman is an influencer, right? Trying to grow her following and trying to do things in shock value and stuff like that. But still, right? Women have turned into this perverted, disillusioned idea of sexual freedom, and they're running with it. People are praising them for it, right? We've seen it with women like, what's her name? I think Bunny Blue, whatever her name is, Lily Phillips, and it'll keep going.
Rather have a high-profile job for no pay or clean sewers for $100,000 a year?
A high-profile job with no pay.
I would prefer to have the high-profile job without pay.
I'm cleaning sewers for $100K, man. Ain't no shame in my game.
Facts.
I'm cleaning sewers. There's no question about it.
I'm gonna clean the sewers for $100,000 a year.
I'd rather the first one.
Okay, so wouldn't that explain why you're paid less?
Yeah. Because I really don't want to do that.
You don't want to do the dangerous, dirty jobs.
No.
So could that possibly be why so many women earn less money than men?
Yep.
So is that based on discrimination or based on choice?
And choices.
And you see women, they just tell on themselves, but then they'll still complain about a quote unquote mythological wage gap, right? They'll complain about how it's unfair when women choose careers or they choose different paths that just don't render the same results that a man do, right? Or the same results of a career that a man chooses, excuse me. So I also think it's one of those things where they almost tell on themselves, and they do tell on themselves because they don't want to do those jobs. They don't want to do those those tough jobs that require a lot of work and a lot of manual labor that might provide higher pay. So it's not about the equality, right? Because this is why I tell you, it's never about equality with women. It's about domination, right? Taking the softer jobs, the easier jobs, the office work, where they don't have to be in the element, putting their body on the line. They can just stay in the office, stay in the air-conditioned office and complain about the air conditioner. So it's never about equality. It's always about the domination of women over men. Because if it was about equality, they would just take those jobs. They would take more of the garbage payer jobs, or garbage collector, pilot. I think I was looking at the data the other day. I think tree logger is an extremely dangerous job, right? I think in the interview, this guy said sewage cleaner, a sewer cleaner, right? Working in the sewers. They're not taking those jobs, man. Are you kidding me?
Profile jobs with no pay make sense if their rationale is, I'll be around influential people and find myself a rich man who's going to make me a full-time housewife.
If you shut that door, we're done. We're breaking up. I'll give you the ring back, all of it. That door, don't jump. Donald, are you being serious? Don't jump.
Donald fed up. Donald is fed up.
Oh my gosh. Open the door. How dare you? Don't open it.
How
You think
dare
you're gonna close it? So he thinks this is funny. What is this, a joke to you? You think you're just gonna like slam that? Oh, so funny. You know what? No, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not leaving. You're not leaving. We're staying together.
Of course.
So that was for nothing. Like you said all that, like this door shut, done. What happened? What happened to that?
I've changed my mind. You're being absolutely too ridiculous.
Shout out to Donald.
Run,
man.
buddy. Ultimatums are for children, not for narcissists to use against somebody they think they can control. I've changed my mind. You're being too ridiculous. No, what she means is that my tactics for control are not working. So we're gonna forget this one and let me try again some other time. Run, boy.
My
Facts.
wife, when I met her, she goes, your whole family's using you. And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, they're all using you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she says, let's go to dinner and I don't want you to pay the bill. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I always pay the bill. She's like, but let's just not pay it one time. Let's just do it one time. I just want to see what they do. And so there's like 20 of us at dinner. And she said, we'll individually get our own checks tonight. Everybody looked at me like this at the end of the table. As I got my check, I felt really weird. But my wife, Jacqueline's like, we're going to see. Everybody paid their bill. They got up. Nobody even gave me a hug and they walked out. My wife goes, this is how things have been going in your life. They say what you don't have as a kid, you crave as an adult. So I thought when I made a lot of money, I was like, dude, I'm just going to, like buy everything for everybody. And then everybody's going to love me. And then my wife's like, dude, you can't buy people's love.
You probably bought her love. So what I hear is, and again, men just being a utility to the world, to women, to their families. And I'm not dissing this guy. Shout out to him. But it sounds like she's just trying to keep the resources for herself. Now, yeah, we know family can get that way, right? Especially if you start making more money or you get a certain level of success. Of course, family will do that to you. Friends will do that to you. Strangers will do that to you, right? But it sounds like she just wants to keep the resources in for herself. And I think in her mind, she thought she had like a drop the mic moment and she didn't. I think it just proves that she's just trying to bogart the table.
The next level of awareness is when you realize that your wife is the same as these relatives.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to share with them. She wants to use you alone. Now stop paying for your wife's meals and see what she does.
Exactly.
Gonna get the same reaction, except she's gonna take half of your ass when she leaves.
Believe in only two things, the First Amendment and boobs. Once they made the decision that they were not going to allow a
you believe in the First Amendment and hold on.
Nice.
I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Did you say, what did you just say? You believe in the First Amendment and BWOBS?
Boobs. Two things that have only never let me down in this entire country's history, the First Amendment and boobs. So those are the only two things I believe in absolutely in the country.
Listen, I'm astonished at almost everything I just heard. For somebody to come on CNN and to say something like the only thing I believe in the discussion about something.
I'm still there too, and I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. BOOZE or BOOBS? Because as a woman, I'm
as in boob. I believe completely in the First Amendment and in boobs. Those are the only two things I believe 100% in this country.
Why would you even say that live on national television?
Well played, sir. Well played. Don't have much to say about that. Well played. Bring in that First Amendment, right? Talking about freedom of speech. And then directly after that, he talks about what he believes in. And this Karen is upset. Be upset.
And with a female host.
Because I like boobs and the First Amendment, which is exactly what I said.
It's the perfect statement to prove if you support free speech or not.
Yep.
Women are attracted, generally speaking, the research shows, to men based on three reasons. The third is kindness. They don't want someone who's going to be a good person. They're impressed by men who are good to their parents and kind and go out of their way to help people, and there's no reciprocal expectation. The second is intelligence, because the smarter you are, the more likely you are to make good decisions and protect your family's offspring. And by the way, the fastest way to communicate intelligence is humor. I've always said if you can make a woman laugh, you can kiss her.
Wow.
And then the most important thing, though, to women, and people don't like to admit this, is the man's ability to signal future resources. It's not even he has to be rich now, but he has to have his act together such that he looks like he will be a decent provider.
And I hate that music they put behind it. I mean, what research, sir? I mean, intelligence, the ability to provide. I don't even think it's the ability that he can provide. I think it's the ability, it's the fact that he can already, right? It's the reality that he can already provide. I mean, this has been said 1,000 times, right? That women wait at the finish line. You waiting at the finish line doesn't signal the fact that you are impressed with the fact that somebody can run, right? Or that they can get to the finish line faster than somebody else. Waiting at the finish line signals you are just waiting for the winner. You don't care about their start. You don't care about the turn or the curve in the 200-meter dash. You just care about who gets through that line first. So I don't know what research he's pulling from, because I think it's very different out here.
I'm so irresistible because of my kindness and smart that they just avoid me.
Right.
He took me back to his house, not because he wanted to do anything, because he wanted to show me the renovations he's doing in his basement. You just go to basements on a first date, Reagan. I know, but he had barn doors. He was making a whole nother apartment all by himself. He bought this house.
She ain't got no neck.
And it's nice. And his car, did you see his car? Mm-hmm. It's brand new. It's a 2021 SUV. It's beautiful. It has a screen in it. Yeah. I started to forget about like everything else, and I was just like, wow, I could start living like this. And he was so respectful.
Men, make note of how excited she was of the potential of what he was going to be able to provide for her. That's fundamentally where the excitement in her voice comes from. She's not impressed
because he's already there. He's already there. He showed up in a nice car for her, right? With a screen, right? Women are impressed by just the silliest things. A screen in a car, okay? And the fact that he is building on to his house, right? I mean, seems like he's already there. It doesn't seem like she went on a date with a man who was in like a 99 Honda Civic working his way through grad school. I mean, again, it goes back to my original point. She's waiting at the finish line, and in her mind, she's like, oh, I got one. He's already there.
By him or his personality and virtue, but by what he has to offer.
I don't think you realize how much work I put in to do that.
To cuddle?
No, for your family. I woke up at 8 in the morning and went to the grocery store and had to hunt down a bunch of stuff, figure out the grill, do all that was work. And after that, I came back and did the dishes. If you sat here and grilled a whole meal for my whole family and I come back to dishes in the sink, I'm not gonna ask you to do the dishes. I'm probably just gonna do them. Maybe I didn't communicate that, sure. However, if I have to communicate that, I am not the one for you.
Do not try to make it seem like I'm not here doing my part at all. We're not gonna spin it like that. I've been given such a negative response, a temper tantrum sometimes, like an attitude. I just don't understand it. If it's about the dishes, me going to sleep, a text, all of that, it's the slap in the face.
I'm glad you feel that way. There's a lot I could respond to, but there is no scenario that I see myself standing there and saying yes to making you my wife forever. And with that in mind, I'm glad we can at least agree that I don't ever want to see you again.
Gentlemen, you can't go tit for tat with her on sacrifices. You just can't. And I know a lot of men want to, you know, I work hard, I do this, I do that, I sacrifice. In her mind, all she hears that Charlie Brown, you know, womp, 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 right? She don't really hear anything because there's no reason up here with her. Because you see what she just did in that clip. She went right back and kind of talked to him about what she does, right? She's waiting for that moment for you to talk about your sacrifices so that she can pull it right out of her back pocket about the things that she does and the sacrifices that she makes and what she had to give up for you. You can't make her see that. If she doesn't already see it and appreciate it, keep moving. Find somebody who does.
Men of culture, this is how it's done. No anger, no yelling, no cursing, no more being taken for granted. Peace be unto you all.
Leave my son. You're not good enough.
Dad, what do you mean? There's no value on love.
Her dad is not a dragon.
But Dad, there's no value you can put on love. We're in love. There's nothing that can separate us.
Here.
Yeah.
6-bedroom mansion in Menteng.
She gone.
Pergi dulu, bye.
She gone.
I told you, son. When money talk, bullshit walks.
Oh, shout out to that dad, man. Shout out to that dad. And he put a stack of Chinese money out there, right? Put some kwai on the table, man. Hey, man, that kwai make them run. Especially Chinese women, man. They about their money. Look, I used to live in China. They about their bread. Don't get it twisted, man. They like money too.
A woman's loyalty is only as good as her options. What a beautiful thing that crosses cultures.
Women do this all the time. He's not secure because he won't let me hang out with my guy friends. I will only date a guy that is secure with me hanging out with my guy friends. The very fact that they agree to what you think is what a guy is exactly what makes you not respect them. Be honest with me right now. When he said, sounds great, hang out with Dylan, were you so excited about him after he said that? Or did you deep down want him to be like, I want you, enough of that? Men that will protect you and love you ask the world from you. They expect nothing. If you feel that you're deserving the same, ask it from them. Fake men will use you. Real men will be very dangerous, and they'll tell you what they want, and they will not accept your distorted forms of protection that you haven't challenged. They will be that form of protection for you if you're there for them.
I actually reversed this with my ex. When she said this, I turned to her and said, well, you need to be secure enough so I can go hang out with my girlfriends. The look on her face was absolutely priceless. It's disrespectful to the man. If you respect your man, you're not going to do this to him, especially if it bothers him. And if it doesn't bother him, he's not serious about you.
I need to know what goes on in men's brains because we needed soy sauce and my husband was like, oh, let me order some. What is this? We are two people. This is a gallon of soy sauce.
I'm going to tell you a little secret about men if you want the man in your life to help you out. When that man helps you out, do not complain about it because here he is. You needed soy sauce and he got the soy sauce. It is a huge mistake to complain about how he got it and what exactly he got. As long as it was soy sauce, it is what you asked for. He solved the problem. But look, for the sake of argument, let's dive into it for a second. These are 3 reasons why he ended up getting that soy sauce. Number 1, when you're ordering groceries online or you're on Amazon, you may not realize how much product it really is because it's just a little tiny picture of it. 2, it's a cost savings. It's less money per ounce. You should appreciate your thrifty man. And 3, he doesn't have the opportunity cost next time of having to buy more soy sauce. Like you guys are set, and that soy sauce, it does not expire. That stuff stays good forever. There are...
Yeah, I mean, look, men are problem solvers. Women create problems. I mean, that's really it. He solved the problem. You wanted soy sauce. He got you a gallon of soy sauce that y'all can have for the next, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months or whatever. So you don't run out anytime soon. Problem solved. Problem created. She's mad that it's a gallon, right? You can't make them happy, bruh. I keep saying that.
So many women out there that would actually appreciate this effort. They're even entering the comments, which is hilarious because they're asking if this woman wants to divorce her husband, that they will take him.
Which is worse? Getting the wrong size soy sauce or publicly disrespecting your spouse online for views? She ran out of soy sauce. He made sure that didn't happen again for a long time. How ungrateful can you get?
Problem solved.
And that's it for today on Sigma Traits.
Problem solved. Yeah. Hey, look, man. Men solve problems. Okay. This is what they do. And this woman, excuse me, and go back a little bit. This woman here upset that he bought a gallon is absolutely crazy. But that's the thing to do now, right? Women get online and complain about the very little things that their husband does because they know there's women out there that will validate them, right? There's women out there that will come to the rescue and give her credit. And, you know, I'm sure, I didn't see the comments, but I'm sure there were women in the comments who were agreeing with her, right? Why are you blasting your husband online because he got a gallon of soy sauce? Now you won't need it for months. You don't even have to think about it unless you're just eating soy sauce like that every day. Whew. Insanity. These are your wives, men. These are who you're going to marry. Good luck out there. Folks, thanks for tuning in. Watch your six. Keep your head on a 360. Gentlemen, protect your back. Until next time, eat well, sleep well, be well. I'll catch you guys later.